The Ocheti Shakoi. Sioux is the name used to describe a First Nations people who live primarily on the Great Plains of North America. It is worth noting that this name was placed upon them and not of their own choosing. The proper name of the people commonly known as the Sioux is Ocheti Shakoi, meaning 7 council fires. The modern Sioux consists of 3 groups based on language divisions: the Dakota, Lakota, and Nakota. The ancestral Sioux are believed to have lived in the central Mississippi Valley and parts of Minnesota for approximately 3,000 years. They migrated to northern Minnesota and northwestern Wisconsin around 800 AD. By 1300 AD, they had adopted the characteristics of a northern tribal society and became known as the 7 council fires, the Ocheti Shakoi. In order for their society to be successful, they provided self-governance called Wo'unchache, meaning our way of doing. In his book, Land of the Spotted Eagle, Luther Standing Bear writes, "Tribal consciousness was the sole guide, there being no human agency to compel the individual to accept guidance. Yet for one to cut himself off from the tribe meant to lose identity or to die. Consequently, there were few lawbreakers." In the 1800s, the Dakota signed treaties with the United States, ceding much of their land in Minnesota. Failure of the United States to honor the treaties, along with food shortages, led to the Dakota War of 1862, which resulted in the Dakota being exiled to numerous reservations in Nebraska, North and South Dakota, and Canada. During this same period, the United States government allowed westward expansion into Sioux lands, and the Ocheti Shakoi were forced to defend themselves to preserve their homelands and way of life. They, along with their allies, the Cheyenne, did so with great determination. The Great Sioux War of 1876 changed the Northern Plains forever, from tribal lands into what it has now become. There were 3 major battles that occurred during this period, all disasters for the U.S. Army. The first was the Powder River Battle on March 16, followed by the Battle of the Rosebud Creek on June 17, and ending with the Battle of Little Bighorn, known to the Lakota and other Plains Indians as the Battle of the Greasy Grass, on June 25, 1876. Most agree that the traditional way of life for the Ocheti Shakoi ended in 1890 with the assassination of Sitting Bull on December 15th and the Wounded Knee Massacre on December 29th. There are 4 bands of the Dakota: Bede Wakatuwa, Wakbetuwa, Wakbekute, Sesituwa. The Nakota, or the Yankton and Yanktonais, resided in the Minnesota River area before ceding their land and moving to South Dakota in 1858. The Lakota are known for their hunting and warrior culture. With the arrival of the horse in the 1700s, the Lakota would become the most powerful tribe on the plains by the 1850s. The 7 bands of the Lakota are the Oglala, they scatter their own; Sichangu, the burnt thighs; the Hunkpapha, end of the circle; Minikoju, planters by the stream; Sihasapa, the Blackfoot; Idazipchola, without bows; Oohenupa, two kettle. Throughout the 20th and 21st centuries, the Dakota and Lakota would continue to fight for their treaty rights, including the 1980 Supreme Court case, the United States versus the Sioux Nation, in which the court ruled that tribal lands covered under the Fort Laramie Treaty of 1868 had been illegally taken by the United States government, and the tribe was owed compensation plus interest. Currently, this compensation amounts to well over $1 billion, but the tribes have refused payment, demanding instead the return of their sacred lands. Today, they maintain many separate tribal governments. The Oceti-Sakowin still have a vibrant and living culture that represents not only the values of today's American Indian society, it is also a very real connection to our past. It is a culture of strength and family, of power and gratefulness. We acknowledge our past and we expect the future. We value and honor the land. We treat it as a living member of our own family, and we still sing about all these things. The ceremonies and music of our people is proof of a culture that has survived in spite of all we have suffered and endured.